Vroom, vroom.
Well, I've not been here for 8 days. Went off to Perugia, near Rome, to pick up the Ferrari that we used in the summer. Because Susie sent it down there professionally, so it had to have proper export papers or temporary export papers. So it had to come back by the end of October. So anyway, we went down there and spent a couple of days with Tom and jumped in the old Ferrari and drove it back. Unbelievable. Didn't miss a beat. Terrible weather, pouring with rain. Hood was pretty good, but obviously they're never perfect, so a little bit of rain here and there, but it was so bad you could hardly see where you were going. But once we got to France, of course, on the old Péage, it's such a good road, it was easy. But anyway, very, very good. Lots of fun. Car drove like a good one. In the meantime, John's really got on with the Mini. All the bits of rust have been welded up. Not perfection, because I said to John, we don't want perfection. We don't want another binky. We want to get it done and have a drive round in it. So it ain't perfection, but in my opinion, it's quite an adequate job for what we want to do. It's going to look very smart. It hasn't got any holes. It's all lovely. When we bolt the subframes in, it's all going to be strong because it's had bits of metal welded where it was necessary. A little bit of filler. Unlike the Americans, though, we haven't covered it all in filler and then rubbed it with great big blocks to get it flat. It's got filler here and there, but nothing very much. So there we are. So we'll quickly walk round it. We've welded up the wing mirrors because I don't like wing mirrors, and they're half the frontal area of a Mini, a bloody wing mirror. We've had 2 new A panels because the doors mount on that, so that's got to be good because obviously the door will just sag. So that's lovely metal. The floors inside have all been welded up. Where the subframe fits at the front here, this was a bit rusty, so that's all been a bit welded in there. Can't look inside it because unfortunately John's passed it all up. Well, not unfortunately, fortunately. Right, so that's that done. A little bit just there, and then a new panel completely there. And then this panel here is just a little panel that goes from about sort of there across to there. So that's a new bit of metal. That's a new bit of metal. And then inside the boot there's a new little bit of metal. So that's that done. So that's a lovely, strong job. As you can see, the early Mini, the 59 Mini, it doesn't have a little joggle there. It just has a hole cut like you would in the side of a van. So that's a feature of a 59. And this has got the little holes in the rain gutter that weren't there when the car was new. And when they went back for the first service, they had a little tool to make those holes. So that was a typical. I mean, really, they sold a prototype to the public, and then slowly made it work at the public's expense. Also, it hasn't got the second gutter. If you know about Minis, they have another little gutter there, and the 59 doesn't. So that's one of the features of the 59. And another feature is these 2 square little dots here. Those 2 little bits there, look, that is 59. And quite rare, because what happens is, of course, is they have a little knock in the front, they put a new panel in, and of course the panels haven't got that little square in them. So that's quite a nice feature. We flattened it all underneath there, because obviously we'll sandblast the subframes and paint them black, and we'll make the engine look smart. But again, we're not going for concours here, we're going for let's get it done, let's have a bit of fun, and let's have a drive up the road. Bit of a drama fitting the spit, because obviously you've got to get it somewhere near the middle so that when you roll it over it don't weigh a ton. But old John's done a good job there. What you do with that is you make a start. You think, well, we're going to put it on there, and then as you do it you make it stronger and stronger until it reaches the point where you can spin it over. But there's a lot of good bits on this car. This is all the original paint. So, you know, it's pretty good, really. It ain't perfect, but it's pretty good. We had a bit of a problem here, because they're always cracked there. So what I did there was I just dented it down a little bit and bronze brazed it in all the cracks, and I think that'll add a lot of strength. Because to do that properly, you'd be cutting half the side of the car away, and it'd still come back, because it's a weak point anyway. So anyway, that's good. We're going to have the sills, the nice colour of the car. We'll probably black the underneath. It's had quite a lot of undersill put on it over the years, which has probably saved it. So we'll black that and make that look good. And there we are. So what we're going to do is high build primer on it now, and then old John will get that done, and then we'll let it really harden. This is our temporary spray booth, because we don't do a lot of spraying, but every now and again we think, well, we've got to paint something. But this is probably one of the biggest jobs we've done. So, and he always makes a noise halfway through the video. He does it purposely, I think. But anyway, there we are. So that's the Mini up to date. I am going to take the engine to bits, clear the front subframe to pieces so that we can blast that and blast the rear subframe. The rear subframe has been replaced, because you can tell, because it's got the hydroelastic holes. So we've welded those up. You know, not that we're trying to kid anybody, but when you look underneath it and you see them two holes, it's a dead giveaway. So we thought we'd just weld them up. So that'll look all right. And then obviously we'll lower it a little bit. We'll put the lovely wheels on it. And then the engine, I thought we'd tweak that up. But we'd do it like in 1960, you was a young bloke who bought a Mini, you had a Black & Decker drill, minimal tools, probably a machine shop down the road that could take a bit off the head. So that's how we're going to do it, you know. I mean, we'll obviously take the millimetre or whatever off the head ourselves, because we've got a milling machine, but that would have just been like taking it to the local machine shop. But we won't go mad, we'll port it a little bit, change the combustion chambers a little bit, take it all to pieces, have a good look at it all, and just make a nice little job of it. And then what we could do, we could have a little up to, I don't know, 50 mile an hour or whatever with the original car, and then see how we get on putting two carburettors on it and possibly a cam. I'm sure we'll put a cam in it, and see if it's any quicker. Hopefully it will be, but we'll see. I think a lot of Minis that were running around making a load of noise were probably slower than standard ones. But anyway, I'm convinced that when I did production saloon car racing, a lot of the cars were going slower than what they would have done if they'd have left them alone. You know, I always used to say if some rep took a wrong turning in his Ford Escort that he'd been driving up and down the motorway flat out, he'd probably drive onto the track and be as quick down the straight as a lot of the ones that have got all the demon tweaks. You know, my car, when I raced the Escort, had to be absolutely on the ball, because, I mean, I was winning the championship outright. Bernard Junette was equally as same on points as me, and so it was like between him and me who was going to win outright. And Chrysler were no mugs. They knew how to do homologation papers, and they knew the score. So if my car had been the slightest bit off, they would have said something. As it happened, they never did. So that was good. And at the end of the year, they took it to pieces. I can't believe it. I had a really good bloke, I think did Mexico's. I can't remember his name. It was 1972. No, 73 that was. And we did it all, and he checked the valve clearance, lifts, and rockers, and everything. And it got to the last bit, and don't forget, I had an 18x9 garage for the side of my house, so I didn't have all the gear like I've got now. And Timothy was only a little boy, so I didn't have his help like I've always had. And the bloke said, oh, now we've got to check the axle. So I said, oh, what do you want us to jack it up and turn the wheel just to check the ratio? And he said, oh, no, I want the diff in my hand. So we had to jack the car up, take the arse shafts out, take the prop shaft off, pull the bloody diff out, and he had it in his hand. So it was very good, really. They really checked it, and I tell you what, it was good as it happens. But I can go on about racing the Ford Escort forever, you know. I mean, and there were so many things happened, and my life changed immensely. My email address is Ivan Dutton 1972 because my life changed in 1972. And people say, is that when you were born? I say, I wish. Anyway, so that's the Mini up to date. And everybody's asked us to do something about the little A30 and talk about the engine and why it goes like it goes, and also the concept of the thing. So we'll do that the minute the weather cheers up a little bit, because it's bloody awful out there. Anyway, so that'll give Tanya something to work with. And next time you see the Mini, it will be in grey primer, hopefully. Right, so as we walk back, we've got to pass the original car, so we might as well say a few words about that. This is the car, the original car, that was saved by the number plate. I bought it from a man who owned a very serious pub up north, and his name was Phil Osborne. And he bought the Mini, put the number on his Mercedes, and that was why he bought it, and pushed that into a little garage on the site of the pub, which saved it, really. So anyway, when he did, I think he was going to retire or something, and I said to him, I'll buy the Mini, but I want to put the original number plate back. So he took the number plate off his Mercedes and put it back on the car. In actual fact, he never even bothered to take the number plates off the Mini. They just pushed it in the garage. So the rear number plate is original, but the front number plate we had to replace because they always get damaged anyway. So as you can see, it's a lovely little car, and you know, we've done some work on it, but we didn't have to go mad, and I didn't want to paint it, I wanted it to look original. It's like the grille. It would have been so easy to sandblast that and paint it cream like the original, but I thought, well, you know, it's ever so easy to make something look new, but it ain't easy to make something look original. So that's why we left it alone. But as you can see, it hasn't got the other gutter like I explained on the other car, but this car is really good here. And the reason for it is, and I don't know why, perhaps the Austin that was made in Longbridge, they didn't do it, and this one was made up the road in Cowley, but there is a panel underneath there, just there. There is a panel which obviously protects that bit there. So that is why that's in such good condition. And it is good too. You know, it's had the odd knock, I mean, all these things, but what I did, I touched it in with a brush and just did it like, you know, some old boy who got a car and he was looking after it and he didn't want to go mad. So, you know, so there we are. So this is totally unmodified, so it will be a good comparison to the other car. We'll drive this up the road and drive that up the road and see just whether we've made it any better. And I think people used to exaggerate a little bit, actually. You put two carburettors on it and drive it up the road and think it's going to go a lot better. It'd probably lose more petrol and probably be more aggravated at the traffic lights ticking over. But whether it goes any better is another story. But we'll find that out. Years ago, we bought a BMW 2002, and old Tim was about, I don't know, I suppose he was about 15 or 16. And with it came a set of 45 Webers, and old Tim kept saying, let's put the Webers on, let's put the Webers on. Anyway, we took a single carburettor off the 2002, and we fitted the manifold and we fitted the Webers. It used a load more petrol. It was a little bit faster, but it wasn't that much. So, you know, I'm not mad about fitting loads of carburettors. I mean, it's like the little A30. It's only got one carburettor, I think it gives about 80 odd horsepower, that's why it goes so well. But we'll go through that car, so that'll be a good thing to do. It's got an A plus engine, so and it was done. All the engines were sealed on those cars, so they were all supposed to be exactly the same. But like everything, I don't think they were. So there we are. This is going to go out really quickly to keep you on the boil, folks, because we've had some fabulous looks on the Emerson. We've had some fabulous looks on the Mini. I can't believe it. Susie looks at it every 5 minutes. When we were going across Italy, every 5 minutes she's looking on her phone going, oh, it's 5,000, oh, it's this. It was like a constant update of what was going on YouTube. But it's a bit of a laugh, really. But the old Ferrari went well. It was good. It was very good. There's something special about that V12 engine. It's bloody noisy and low geared, but driving along, after you get used to it a little while, it becomes magic. It's a bit like driving a Bugatti. You know, they've definitely got that bit of magic. Hard to explain magic.